Yardswood Detention Center. On the 3rd of September, I arrived at Yardswood Detention Center about 3 something in the morning, and I began to inquire, why am I there? Immigration did not come and see me. Why am I placed in a detention center without the acknowledgement of an immigration officer? They said to me I should inquire about that in the morning. Later on in the day, on the 3rd, I continued to inquire about it, and I cannot get an answer. I cannot know who detained me, why the police detained me, why did the police hand me over to a G4 officers, and why am I in custody. I continue to inquire about why am I detained, and with no answer. On the 7th of September, I filed a claim in the High Courts of Justice for judicial review of my detention. Following filing this claim for judicial review, I got a reply, my claim has been lodged, and I got a reference number and from the court, and awaiting an acknowledgement of service from the respondents. During the course of this, there was no response, no acknowledgement of service. I contacted my housing solicitor, which is Pierce Glenn. The solicitor's name is Sue Willman, while I was in custody. And she says to me, Anne-Marie, what are you doing in a detention center? And your kids, where are your kids and your husband? I said to her, they are at home. She said to me, no, it's a unlawful detention. You should not have been detained. Who detained you? I told her I do not know. On saying that she faxed me some documents saying I should fill in these documents. This is a letter she sent me, and saying I should fill in the documents for legal aid because they may have to challenge it in court as unlawful detention. On the very day that the documents was sent to me to sign, about 15 minutes after I signed the documents, a G4 officer came to me and said, the immigration need to speak to you downstairs. I should pack my luggage. And I packed my luggage, and they took me downstairs. When I went downstairs, there was no immigration officer. I was bundled in a van and driven away. To my surprise, I was out of the jurisdiction while a claim has been filed in the High Courts of Justice in another jurisdiction all the way in Scotland. I phoned the solicitor and I told her that they have removed me. As soon as I signed the documents, the police has removed me. She said to me, no, that's wrong. They cannot remove you if you have filed a claim in the court. I was kept in Scotland for 3 weeks. No one could see me. Whenever anyone tries to see me, they told them I'm not there. I informed people I'm there, they told them I'm not there. I applied in the court for a hearing, and instead of a hearing, I was removed again back to Yardswood Detention Center. While at Yardswood Detention Center, my family contacted friends, groups, and even visitors groups who tried to see me. And Whenever anyone tries to see me, they tell them I am not in the institution while I'm there in solitary confinement, because most of the time they kept me in solitary confinement with a power light, banging, banging, banging. I see no one, I had no visit, and they kept keeping me in solitary confinement. I was denied access to phone calls or any visits. While there in solitary confinement, a group made arrangement to come and see me in Yazoo. And on the day when the group was to come and see me, the night before, at about 10 o'clock, I was sleeping, and they came and took me away, bundled me in a van, and drove me away to Tinsley House Detention Center. While in Tinsley House Detention Center, I was kept there in solitary confinement. I couldn't have no visitors. The Gatwick detainee group, they came to visit me more than once, and they were denied visits. I've got evidence, all those evidence of everything that they sent and give me, documents they sent and give me, and has been told they cannot see me. I applied in the immigration courts. I paid £5 to £5 for special delivery of my documents to the Taylor House Immigration Court. I got a hearing for the 9th of November, but on the 6th of November, on the 5th of November, I was at about 10:30. I was bundled again and driven away back to Yazoo Detention Center. Again, no one knows when I'm moving. No one came to see me. I was denied access to any visitor or anyone. On the 6th of November, again, I was removed again from Yazoo Detention Center to a top security prison. While at the top security prison, I inquired of the governor, why am I placed in a top security prison? I have no conviction, I am not charged or anything. I have a case to go back to court on the 21st, on December, the 12th of December, so why am I in custody? He said to me, he does not know and I should ask him in writing. I requested the warrant I am held under in the prison. What warrant has he got to have me in a top security prison in solitary confinement? And the governor himself, Mr. Shaw, Mr. Alan Brady, he brought these documents to me. Now, this is a document saying priority move, no signatures on it. And this is another document with a letter stating what I should do to know why am I in a top security prison in solitary confinement, denied access to any legal assistance or anyone. Now, while in the prison, I should have had a hearing at the immigration courts regarding my case. As they keep saying, it's immigration where, since I was held, I have never seen an immigration officer as practicable. No immigration has ever interviewed me or anything. I was not illegal in the country. I had an application pending in the country for permanent residence. So therefore, there is no way the immigration could detain me. Obviously, the police arrest me and detain me because I have got a case against them, and they are trying to deny me access to justice that is required. Now on the 20th, the police keep on removing me, transferring me at nights, without my knowledge that I'm going to be removed, or without the knowledge of my husband and my children that I'm going to be removed. I was again removed from the top security prison Holloway to Collinbrook Detention Center, where again I was placed in solitary confinement. No phone calls or anything. And while in Collinbrook, I was trying to get to somebody. I was grabbed, placed in a cell, locked up. And after sleeping for one night, the following morning, some people, they came there, and everybody, they came and they bundled me and took me away and took me straight to the airport on the 22nd of December. They took me to the airport, and on the 23rd, I was placed on a flight at around 10 something in the night, destined for Jamaica. I landed in Jamaica on the 23rd of December 2009. Since then, I've been to Jamaica here, unlawfully and illegally removed from my family, which is a clear, drastic breach of my human rights and not in accordance with the laws of the UK, what says the Immigration Laws and Act 1971. I went to the Independent Council, Jamaican Council for Human Rights, and at the time I went to the Independent Jamaican Council for Human Rights, they explained to me, it seems as if they have even breached their own laws. This is a very serious case. Why did they humiliate you like this? This seems a very drastic case of discrimination. The human rights, they wrote, I myself wrote to the British High Commission, and I got a response letter. And since I got this response letter, that was it. This response letter is from the 9th of February 2010. No one has contacted me and no one has said anything to me. The Independent Jamaican Council for Human Rights, they have written a letter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office, the British High Commission, and up until now, no response has been given to the letter which was written by the Jamaican Council for Human Rights. I clearly now seek the assistance of the wider public, Amnesty International, the European Council on Human Rights, Liberty, wider society, Justice in London, Children's Advocate in London, the Human Rights Commission in London, and the media fraternity on a whole, and the wider public society. I also request that Jamaicans for Justice, the Independent Jamaican Council for Human Rights, Children Advocate, my son is underage, he's only 13 years of age at the time when the police arrested me in London, put me in a van and drove me away. From ever since, my son has not seen me. Removing me from my family is a drastic human rights breach. Removing me from the jurisdiction while a court case is in progress. Removing me from the jurisdiction while a court case is in function is totally illegal and unlawful. It has impacted upon my life, my family life, my son. My son is not now being the son who he was in school, a brilliant child with a future, who has got high self-esteem and who is a great asset to society. I'm now getting complaints that he's going off the rails. My family has been broken because of this act. This act is clearly an act of discrimination. It is illegal, it is unlawful, it is a drastic breach of my human rights and not in accordance with the laws of the UK and the laws of the Immigration Act 1971. And I therefore now seek the assistance of the Jamaican government, who I believe there are bureaucracy and red tape is hindering this case, because you've got individuals who are trying to push this matter under the carpet. Even the media, I have been to the media, and I can't believe, with evidence to prove that everything is wrong and illegal, the newspapers are trying to deny me the access to justice as is required. Here you have a document where the judge, the Honorable Justice Silva, has ruled that removing immigrants or anyone from the jurisdiction while court proceedings is in progress is a serious human rights breach. This ruling was made in 2010, and before I keep explaining it is illegal and wrong, since I was arrested by the police in Britain, the Metropolitan Police, I have never ever seen an immigration officer which is practicable and is required. Therefore, my removal by the police is illegal. I have never signed any form of document to say I am willing to be removed from my kids. My removal by the police is illegal. It is unlawful. And I therefore now seek the assistance of the public, the Jamaican public in both Britain and other parts of the world, and in Jamaica, the Jamaican government, who has got a duty and owes me a duty to look into this matter. This matter is a matter which justice is required, where evidence is there to prove. The newspapers, they have came up with a case of a woman, what happens to her in Barbados, and she hasn't got any evidence. Those are mere allegations. And I'm surprised to see the government, the newspaper, and everyone is following up a case like that, which has got no documentary evidence to it. I now seek your assistance, because what they did to that woman, I am sure it was done, and it is illegal and wrong. And these things has been going on for quite a while against Jamaicans, and it must be stopped. It should stop.